Your personal information has likely been exposed in one of the largest data breaches in history. Yes, even if you've been careful, a massive data hack at a company called National Public Data has compromised the personal details of millions of Americans, including social security numbers, full names, dates of birth, addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, driver's license numbers, and even mortgage records. In total, over 2.7 billion records were stolen, affecting around 138 million social security numbers in the US alone. This means that sensitive information about you and your family could now be in the hands of cybercriminals, making it easier for them to steal your identity, take out loans, open credit cards, or even file fraudulent tax returns in your name. Today, I'm going to show you how you can take action to protect yourself, especially when it comes to your IRS taxpayer account. Hi, my name's Noel Lorenzana. I'm a CPA with over 20 plus years of experience doing taxes, and going forward, I'm actually recommending this strategy to all of my clients to keep their taxpayer information safe. The most powerful tool you have to protect yourself against taxpayer identity theft is something called an IRS IP Pin. This is a unique 6-digit code that the IRS issues to help protect your tax return from being filed fraudulently by somebody else. If you didn't know, this is how the scam works. A criminal can buy your social security number and other personal information for as little as $100. They can then use this information to file a fraudulent tax return with fake information and numbers in order to claim your tax refund, oftentimes for a much larger amount than you would have been entitled to. After all, the criminals are just making up numbers. The unwary IRS processes the fraudulent tax return and sends your tax refund to the fraudster. Now, when you go to file your real, legitimate tax return, it gets rejected because their records show that you've already filed a tax return. So now you can't file your tax return electronically using e-file. You'll have to print out a copy of your return and mail it to the IRS. This sets you on a path of wasted time and lots of frustration trying to fix the mess. You'll need to file an identity verification affidavit, essentially you having to prove to the IRS that you're really you. This is a nightmare scenario and it's taking 2 years to fix on average. I recommend you get an IRS IP Pin right now to secure your taxpayer account. Once you have an IP Pin, no one can file a tax return in your name without it, even if they have your social security number. The IRS will provide you with a new IP Pin every year, adding an extra layer of protection to your tax account. Now you might be wondering how to get one. Here's the process. Visit the IRS website at irs.gov. You navigate to the Get an Identity Protection Pin page. You'll need to log in or create an account if you haven't already. 2, verify your identity. The IRS will ask for details like your social security number, tax filing status, mailing address, and a financial account number. Be prepared to answer some questions to confirm your identity. 3, keep your IP Pin safe. Once you receive your IP Pin, make sure you put it somewhere safe. You'll need this number every time you file your federal tax return, and if you lose it, retrieving it can be a bit challenging. It's important to note that if you can't recover your IP Pin, you won't be able to e-file your tax return, and you will need to file your return by mailing a paper copy instead, which can be inconvenient and slow. However, this small hassle is worth the added security and peace of mind. If later on you lose or can't find your IP Pin, you can actually use your online taxpayer account with the IRS to retrieve it. If you don't have one, you really should set one up. I show you how to do this in this video up here. You can also call the IRS at 1-800-908-4490 to have it reissued. One important thing to note is the IP Pin is needed when you file any tax returns for that year. So for example, if you have an IP Pin for 2024, any returns you file in that calendar year require that IP Pin. So for example, if you're filing 2 years of returns, say 2022 and 2023, in the year 2024, you'll need the 2024 IP Pin number to file the years 2022 and 2023 tax returns. I hope that makes sense. So what are some of the other ways to protect yourself? While the IRS IP Pin is a powerful tool, it's not the only step you can take to protect yourself from the fallout of this massive data breach. Here are some additional actions you should consider. Number 1, freeze your credit account. One of the most effective ways to prevent identity thieves from opening accounts in your name is to place a security freeze on your credit report. By freezing your credit with the 3 major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, you make it much harder for criminals to access your credit information. You can still lift the freeze temporarily if you need to apply for a loan or credit card, and you can do that online or over the phone. Number 2, set up fraud alerts. In addition to freezing your credit, you can set up fraud alerts with the major credit bureaus. These alerts require creditors to verify your identity before opening any new accounts or making changes to existing ones. A basic fraud alert lasts for 1 year. Number 3, monitor your credit reports. Regularly checking your credit reports is crucial in catching any suspicious activity early. Thanks to recent changes, you're entitled to a free credit report from each of the 3 credit bureaus every week. So take advantage of this and monitor your reports for any signs of fraud. Number 4, to protect your social security number, I would strongly recommend creating a My Social Security account if you haven't already done so. You can do this on the Social Security Administration's website as shown here. This step can prevent identity thieves from creating an online account in your name and helps you monitor your social security information from any unauthorized changes. Number 5, beware of phishing scams. You probably already know this, so this is just a reminder. Be extra cautious of emails, phone calls, or text messages that ask for your personal information. Scammers often use data breaches as an opportunity to trick people into revealing even more sensitive details. If you receive any suspicious messages claiming to be from the IRS, your bank, or any other organization, verify the source before providing any information. 6, use strong, unique passwords and enable multi-factor authentication. Make sure you're using strong, unique passwords for all your accounts and enable multi-factor authentication whenever possible. This extra layer of security makes it much harder for hackers to gain access to your accounts, even if they have your password. Another great option is to use an app like LastPass to keep track of all your passwords. Number 7, monitor your financial accounts. Regularly check your bank and credit card statements for any unusual transactions. If you notice any charges or something you don't recognize, report it immediately to your financial institution. By taking these steps, you'll greatly reduce your risk of falling victim to identity theft, even if your data has already been exposed in a data breach. Protecting your personal information has never been more important, especially with the increasing frequency and scale of data breaches like the one we're talking about. Taking steps like getting an IRS IP Pin, freezing your credit, and monitoring your financial accounts can make a world of difference in safeguarding yourself from identity theft. I think it's safe to assume that your private information is already out there in the hands of hackers, so plan accordingly. Remember, identity theft can happen to anyone, and it often strikes when you least expect it. But by being proactive and staying vigilant, you can significantly reduce your risk and protect yourself, your family, and your financial future. If you found this video helpful, please do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on protecting yourself and your finances. And if you have any questions or stories, please share them below in the comment section. I'd love to hear them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.